from the Palace on the campus of Raceland Worthington High School. Welcome in to Raceland Volleyball here on Cool TV and the Cool Sports Network. James Collier, happy to have you along with us tonight. We've got a good one as the Raceland Rams come in 19-8. Winners of their last three. They'll go up against one of their rivals, the Fairview Eagles, at 17-5. They've won 6 consecutive. These two teams met up back in the All-A Classic on August 20th. Fairview won that one 2-1. And then, Raceland won that one 2-1. Then in the regular season matchup on September 8th over in Fairview, the Rams lost that one in straight sets, 25-19, 25-22, and 25-18. Rams had a tough sled at the All-A State Tournament. They won one of the 4 games that they played in, defeating Todd County Central 2-1. They lost to Eminence, Trinity Whitesville, and Trinity Christian. They came back home, took straight set losses to Russell and Boyd, and then their last 3 straight set winners over Rose Hill, Morgan County, and West Carter. So, again, a couple of weeks to go in the regular season before we get into districts and regional tournament play that'll come up at the end of the season. And the Rams trying to get themselves into the 20-win column with a nice win here tonight at home against Fairview. Looking at the Rams up front, Elizabeth Rigsby and Shaylee Holbrook. That'll be the ones that'll control the net. Reagan Mackey and a mix of Faith Spurlong, Gracie Reed will also work there, but it all goes through Cody Haddix. Haddix is the setter. She is really good at the net. She can do what's called a ninja kill, and that's where they go on to, and she's really, really good at it. The question is, can they combat her with being able to do so? When teams have taken her away and her ability to go at the net, they've been successful. That was the thing Ashland did that got a nice win over this Raceland team when they played here, in which Ashland won that one 3-1. But on the other side of things, it's no question where it goes through at the front of the net. It's Grayson Price. She leads this team by almost double in kills with 300 on the season. Cameron Fry has 155, and Kira Loving, the setter, also with 135. So a lot of options at the net on both sides for these two teams, and it should be a very entertaining matchup here between Fairview and Raceland. Well, they turned the music down, and then they decided they're going to turn it back up, and then turn it back down, and then turn it back up. So we're about ready to get ready for some volleyball. As looking ahead, the Rams head to East Carter on Monday night. I'll be on the call for that one from East Carter High School, 7 o'clock first serve scheduled. Then the last 2 games here on Cool TV for the Rams in regular season, Greenup County on the 6th, Lewis County on the 10th. Again, if you're following along with us on Cool TV, haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell. That will give you instant notification anytime we post new material and any of the things that's there. We are currently at 493 subs. Let's see if we can get to 500 tonight. So we're not too far away, but we certainly appreciate all of our great sponsors as well, as Clark's Pump and Shop, River Cities Builders, A&A Porta Potties, our corporate sponsors, and everything we've been able to do thus far through Cool TV has been made in part by their support. All right, let's step aside for a break for the national anthem. When we return, Fairview and Raceland, a good one here tonight at the Palace. Happy to have you along with us, and our coverage continues after this on the Cool Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Ready for some volleyball action here tonight at the Palace as the teams meet at the net, exchange handshakes, and we'll get ready for some action here tonight between Fairview and Raceland. Fairview will start on my left. They'll be in the white jerseys as you view it on your screen now. Raceland in the orange and black on the right side of your screen. Scoring for the set is on the bottom. The game score will be in your top left. So we've got you covered from start to finish on this one, as we've got a good one here tonight. This one is two teams that should be able to get after it pretty well, and it's all hoop. So our official Bill Renzi giving me a thumbs up, making certain that we're good to go. They're going to go on our thumbs up when we come out of breaks. So appreciative of, again, the officiating crews are starting to notice that the use of live TV in the games, and it's a very welcomed addition to having their assistance as well. That's why you're not coming out of a break late, because they're already going early and not getting what you need. So looks like that Fairview is going to do the service first. And back to serve will be Cameron Fry. Rick Griffith, head coach for the Eagles. Bill Farley, head coach for the Rams. And we are ready for volleyball. Rigsby across the front along with Hale and Reed. And our first service is up. It'll be a free ball sent over by Rigsby. And then a ball slammed back down right at the net by Kiera Loving. And Fairview takes a 1-0 lead. And that's one of the things you get with Loving at the net is you leave one that's soft there and she can just jump right back up and pounce it down. 1-0 Eagles. Running overhand service, back row. Hale scrambling from the far sideline. It'll be a free ball sent over by Gracie Reed. Here's Loving. She'll take it off to Price on the far sideline. Price with a big swing, and she hits it through the block of Rigsby. 2-0. Overhand service. Mackey on the back row. Near side Reed. Reed with a cross-court attack. Out of the back row, it's sent up. And then Hale just sends it right back down, and the Rams are on the board. It's 2-1. Mackey wearing the libero jersey tonight. That's why she's in the white jersey. Here's Loving scrambling. It'll be a free ball sent over from the back row. Hustling there is Holbrook. Hale to Reed. Reed with a cross-court attack and puts it on the line. We're tied at 2. Nice look there by Gracie Reed to find the hole on the left side and drop it in for the point. Now Hale goes to the back row. Here's Price with the attack. Mackey on the back row to dig it out. Hale comes near side. Brown Morris taps it over, and it's blocked out of bounds. Give her the point, and the Rams lead this one 3-2. Nice little soft touch there by Skylar Brown Morris. And Hale got that one off of her hands awkwardly. It's a service error, and we're tied at 3. And now Kiara Loving to the back row. She'll do the service work for the Eagles. Mackey leaves it off to the far sideline, and it's going to be an ace. She couldn't control it off of her hands. So Fairview regains the lead now 4-3 here in set 1. Mackey again, can't control it. Back-to-back aces for Kiara Loving and a 2-point lead for the Eagles. Near side Morris. Raceland flips it up and gets it across on a free ball. Loving back up front. She's going to the far side. Price. Price with a big swing. Dug out on the back row by Holbrook. Here's Mackey pushing it across. Deep on the back row. That's Madison Loving. Here's Kiara Loving taking it down the pipe. And a big swing there by Cameron Fry. Raceland scrambling into the bench, saving it. We play on. Loving back up front. She's going out the back door. Price with a big swing. And that time she'll get it down as she fires it through Holbrook. And now the Eagles are doubling up the Rams. Now 6-3. Pair of aces and a kill from Grayson Price. Big shout out to my crew tonight. Lane Lee's our executive producer. I got students on the cameras tonight. Doing a fabulous job from what I've been able to peek over and look so far. Here's Rigsby up front, taps it over. Price leaves it. Here's Loving with a big swing and pops that one down for the point. So they traded positions that time, and Kiara Loving with 3 of the last 4 points. Cody Haddix is on now, and she'll replace Sophia Hale. 7-3. Eagles leading it here in set 1. Kiara Loving coming right at you. Here's Rigsby. Brown Morris fires it across and puts it in for the point. Her second kill of the ball game. Found a nice opening there on the defense in between the front and the back line. And back to do the service for the Rams is Gracie Reed. Reed's service. Big ball off the arms on the far sideline of Shelby Markham. She can't control it. It'll be an ace for Reed. And the lead's down to 2. 7-5 here in set number 1. Markham. There's Loving. Leaves it near side. A big swing there on a tip. As Elizabeth Rigsby said, yeah, I got it up front. She knew that she did. So give Madison Loving the point as Fairview sides out. Makes it 8-5. Lily McGlone's service into the net. So a service error. Sides it out and gives it back to Raceland. And Elizabeth Rigsby, the senior, back to do the service for the first time tonight. 8-6. Fairview leads it. Raceland service. Rigsby, a nice serve. Loving off to the far sideline. Big swing dug out there by Mackey. Here's Haddix. Near side as we'll get off to Faith Spurlock, who comes in on that last stoppage. Here's an attack by Fry off the back line. Haddix comes near side to Spurlock, and they're going to get Haddix on a 2-ball, if you will. Shaylin Newman back in. In for the first time as Rigsby will step off. 9-6, Fairview leads it. And Grayson Price back for the service. And she serves that one off the side of her hands and out of bounds. So a side out and a point goes to the Rams. Skylar Brown Morris back to do the service. Trailing by 2, 9-7 here in set 1. Good service there. Back row Newman. Haddix tips it over. Loving tries to push it to the back line. There's a nice receive by Haddix. Now Spurlock with a cross-court attack. It's dug out on the back row. And this time, a big swing by Cameron Fry goes off the hands of Mackey out of bounds. So give her the point and a 10-7 lead for Fairview. Shelby Markham launches that back, and let's see what we get here. They're going to reserve. Mackey on the back row. Haddix comes up front. A big swing there by Holbrook. Back row, Price. Newman. She'll send it over on a free ball now. Here's Loving up front. Pushes it off to the far sideline. Touches it over. Haddix digs it out. Now Mackey comes backside to Spurlock. Back up front. Here's down the pipe for a big swing there by Price. She knocks that one out of bounds. And it's side out for the Rams as Faith Spurlock will go back to the line. 10-8. Good service there. Loving digs it out. They'll send it over on a free ball. Back row Spurlock. Here's Haddix up front to Holbrook. Holbrook with a big swing and sends that one out of bounds. Side out for the Eagles, and Madison Loving back for the service, leading 11-8 here in set one. She goes deep to the back line, and she's going to pull up an ace. Some communication issues there for the Lady Rams as Savannah Zewald in the rotation now. Here's Newman. Mackey back to Newman, and they save it on the near side. I think that thing was going out, but they'll play on. Big block at the net as Holbrook sends it back where it came from. And the Rams get a big block at the net on Cameron Fry, 12-9. Rigsby back in, Newman off, Holbrook to the service line. Ball tipped over, and Rigsby comes in and puts it back down, and the little floater there at the net leads down to 2. Free ball sent over by the Eagles. Mackey up to Haddix. Joust at the net, and that time Kiera Loving pops back up and puts it down after the ball was tipped at the net by Gracie Reed. Point Fairview, 13-10. Cameron Fry for the service. That one's out of bounds, so 11-13 on this service error. Haddix off, as is Zewald. Back in are Hale and Morris. Good service. Here's Price back up on that front row. A big swing, and that one's deep. So an attack error by her as the Rams trailing by only 1 now. High lofted serve to the back row. Loving pushes it off to Price on the far side with the attack. It's blocked at the net. And we're tied at 13. Loving tips it over. There's Mackey. Hale leaves it out the backside. Reed puts it across. They'll try to push it to the back corner. There's the Rams saving it. Here's Rigsby up front. Tips it over. Big swing down the pipe. Holbrook on the back row. Here's Rigsby. Winds up and puts it down for the point. And the Rams lead at 14-13. It's an 8-1 run for the Rams. Loving didn't get a good swing on that. One's tipped at the net. Here's Rigsby, lofts it across, saved by McGlone. Here's Price, cross court. Morris digs it out. Holbrook's going to come back to her on the cross court attack, and she loses it off her hand. and can't get it across. We're tied at 14. So that answers the 8-1 run and puts Kiera Loving back on the service line. Back and forth battle here in the opening set of this contest. Reed lofts it across on a free ball. Here's Price on the far side, blocked at the net. They'll try to force it to the back corner, and that time it's out of bounds. So Loving tried to push it across the defense and sent it too wide right in front of Bill Farley. So Gracie Reed to the service line. A dart that goes into the net. So the service error, and we're even at 15. And Lily McGlone. Haddix over to Rigsby. Rigsby's attack is dug out near sideline easily. Down the pipe with a big swing at the net was Cameron Fry, and she'll put it down for the point. 16-15. Fairview back in front by 1. Seesaw battle back and forth here. And then an ace. She takes it right across the tape. (17-15) our score. Lily McGlone, Mackey, Haddix leaves it to Rigsby. Rigsby with a big swing on the far sideline and puts it down. That's when you get in system, good things happen. That right there was a good receive, a good set, and a big swing by Rigsby at the net, who'll go to the back line now for the service. Chance to tie it on this point. Free ball sent over, nope. Loving couldn't get it across. We're tied at 17. Rigsby, big service that's hit back over. Push ball there by Haddix. Loving leaves it off to Fry. Fry with a big swing, and it's way too deep, and the Rams back in front by 1. 18-17 as we volley back and forth for position. Nice service there. Price on a free ball. Here's Rigsby. Haddix leaves it near side Spurlock. Spurlock with a cross-court attack off the back row. Free ball again sent over by the Eagles. There's Rigsby with a set coming up to Haddix. She'll leave it for Holbrook at the net. Mackey. Haddix coming near side Spurlock. Spurlock with the big attack. We get a ball at the net. Tipped around, and it's a point for the Rams. (19-17). Rams trailed by 4 in this set. Here's an 8-1 run. That was should have been a service error right there as her foot came down on the line as she came across, and a big swing at the net. Goes into the net as Shelby Markham couldn't get it over, and a timeout requested by Fairview. 20-17, back in 60 seconds on the Cool Hit Sports Network. We'll be right back. I'm going to tell them not to zoom in so much. How's the cameras looking? Out of the timeout, Rams lead at 20-17. So welcome you back to the Palace. James Carr, happy to have you along with us here tonight. There's Rigsby. Nice job on the back row. Brown Morris sends it across. It's a free ball back over to the Rams. Here's Holbrook with a big swing. Dug out on the back row by Loving. Fry sends it up. Rigsby trying to dig it, but she couldn't handle it. And Cameron Fry with the point. There's Shaylin Newman. Haddix tips it over, and she's going to get the ninja kill. That's what I was talking about. When she just finds that soft little touch at the net, Bill Farley says it's like sometimes she has eyes in the back of her head. So Brown Morris back for the service. 21-18, Rams leading this one. Free ball coming over by Markham. Here's Haddix. Brings it near side, Spurlock. Spurlock with the attack, dug out up front. Price comes up, lofts it to the back row. Shayla Newman digs it out. Mackey leaves it near side to Spurlock, but they're going to get her on a lift. So the point goes to Fairview, 21-19. They trail. Shelby Markham back to the service line. You got to think the way this game has gone so far, the first one to pick up this first set is going to be in control the rest of the way. Here's a big dart. That one's on the tape. As slamming it down with Shaylee Holbrook. Nice positioning there. Side out Rams, 22-19. They lead it here in set one. And all Rick Lambert could do on the far sideline was just watch as it was coming right at him. So Faith Spurlock with the service. There's Price on the back row, Loving. Tipped at the net, Zewald back row. Haddix coming near side. That's Reed. Reed with a cross-court attack. Back row, it's dug out. Here's Fry with a big swing up front. Tipped at the net. Rams scrambling. Free ball lofted over. They'll try it again. Here's Price down the pipe with a big swing. Tipped at the net. Haddix saves it. She'll push it across. This time Reed with another cross-court attack. That one's wide as it's just a little bit past the back line. And it's 22-20. And now Madison Loving back for the service. Mackey can't control it. So give the point to the Eagles. And it's down to a 1-point lead for the Rams. Now 22-21 here in set one. Newman. Haddix brings it near side. Reed pushes across. Loving comes out the backside. Fry with a big swing, and that one's way too wide. Bill Farley had a play on it, but that was it. Side out Rams, and it's 2 points away from an opening set here in set number one. And Fairview burns a timeout. We're going to stay right here as this thing has gone back and forth. Fairview took the first 2 points. Raceland answered with 3. They led at 3-2. Fairview raced out to a 7-3 lead. Raceland clawed itself back into it, had it down to 8-6. Fairview opened up a sizable lead at that point in which they started kind of chipping away. It was up to a 4-point lead once again. Raceland used an 8-1 run, made it 14-13. We volleyed back and forth, and Raceland with its largest lead of the match of 3 coming after the Shaylee Holbrook kill that made it 22-19. And it's 23-21, and Miss Holbrook's on the service line. Holbrook and short service. Loving brings it near side. With the cross-court attack is Cameron Fry, and she gets that one down for the point. (23-22), and Fry back to the service line. That one's out of bounds, and it's set point for the Rams. So Sophie Hale back to the service line, trying to win it here in set number 1. High arcing service, Loving to Loving. Off to Price with a free ball. Deep back row. Hale leaves it up to Rigsby. Rigsby's blocked at the net, though. A big block there at the net of Rigsby, but it's still set point for the Lady Rams. Kira Loving back to the service line. Should a point go down for Fairview, then we're going to have to expand it to at least 26 to win it. You have to win by 2. Mackey, near side, Brown Morris. She'll push it across. They'll leave it off to Price. Price lobs it over on a free ball. Holbrook to Brown Morris. Loving pushes it off to, with a big swing as she sends the line judge out of bounds. Now look, the line judge was turned. She'd had no idea what she was saying. Yeah, that ball was down every day and twice on Tuesday. As we're tied at 24. She turned to get out of the way of the ball and then tried to say the ball was out of bounds, and Rick Lambert was about to lose his mind on the far side. So now we're tied at 24, so it needs 26 at least for a win. And this ball's touched out of bounds on the far sideline, and now it's set point for Fairview. Bill Farley will burn a timeout. Back in 60 seconds on the Co-Ed Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Set point for the Eagles here in set number 1. Loving service. Rigsby pushes across. Loving back up to the front row. Here's Price with a big swing and puts that one down for the point. And Fairview answers and wins set number 1, 26-24. Set 2 up when we return after this on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
When you have business away from home or a planned event far from your comfort zone, you're probably going to need a little help. Let A&A Porta Potties assist you with all your portable toilet needs. Whether on a construction site, planning for an outdoor wedding, or any other outdoor event, A&A Porta Potties are here to assist you. A&A Porta Potties also rents out storage containers, office containers, cooling fans, tables, and chairs. A&A Porta Potties, there is no event too big or too small for us to accommodate you.
Back here at the Palace, Fairview wins set number 1, 26-24 in a back and forth affair. It was, the Rams had this one in control. They had set point twice at 24-22 and 24-23. But then they get a kill from Grayson Price that even the contest at 24. An attack error by the Rams gave Fairview a 1-point lead, and then an error by the Rams to close it out. 26-24 is the final in set number 1. James Carr, happy to have you along with us tonight. Lane Lee taking care of the executive production for Cool TV on cameras tonight. I've got Philip Roark. He's out of my high school media class on one camera. On my other camera, from my intro to media class, is Gracie Higginbotham. 2 students who have never touched cameras before this school year. And from what I can tell so far, as I peek over so far, look like they do a pretty good job. So big set coming up right here. Rams got to have this one. So the Rams in the orange and black on the right of your screen. Fairview in the white jerseys, black bottoms on the left of your screen. It looks like I got another student over here working out now. Now they're trading off. Sierra Zewald is over there. So both of those are, her and Gracie are out of the intro class. And Phillip's out of my live production class. So our officials trying to verify the rotations that we've got. You see the one white jersey for the Rams. That's Reagan Mackey. And she's considered the libero. So that's the reasoning for her having the different colored jersey. Fairview not going with a libero, and that's what allows Loving to come from that back row up front. All right, out of the timeout we got. A big block at the face of the net by Rigsby. And Rams start things off quickly, leading this one 1-0. Here's Sophie Hale. That ball's probably going out of bounds. It's a free ball lifted over. Mackey sets it up. Hale back up at the front of the net. Here's Brown Morse with the attack and puts it through. 2-0. Raceland here in set 2. Hale coming right at you on your screen. And that one scurrying forward and sending it over on a free ball is Fairview on the back row's Price. Here's Rigsby with a nice touch at the net, but just a little too soft as it won't go home. And Fairview grabs its first point of set 2. Hale goes off, Haddock's back on, and back to do the service is Cameron Fry. Mackey. Haddock's scrambling. That get her with a lift. We're tied at 2. Haddock leaves it off for Reed. Reed with a big swing off the far side. He's dug out on the back row. A touch over. Rigsby saves it. Nice job there by Haddock to get it up. They'll go out to Price. She'll punch it over. Haddock's got a hand on it. Probably should have let it go. Instead, it goes down for a point for the Eagles. A 3-0 run, and they lead this one 3-2. Nice service. Dug out on the back row, but it's out of bounds for an ace. 4-0 run for the Eagles. They lead it 4-2. Mackey on the back row, Haddocks. Free ball sent over by Holbrook. Here's Loving at the net, off to Price. Blocked at the net, dug out. Loving with a big touch. They're not going to get that one over. Yeah, they will. That should have been a 4-ball, I believe. We play on. Here's Rigsby with a swing at the net, and into the face of the net she goes. It's a 5-0 run. Fairview leads this one 5-2. And that's an ace. Make it 6-0 Raceland plays it off the net nicely. Morris saves it on the near sideline. Here's Price off that far side pin. That one's blocked at the net. Loving digs it out, and Raceland will finally pick up a point to snap that 6-0 run inside out. So they trail it 6-3 as Reagan Mackey goes to the service line. Loving to Loving. Price with a big swing. Dug out on the back row off the net. Raceland can't play it. It'll go down for a point. So Kira Loving now back to the line. Largest lead of the match is 4. And that right there was just miscommunication by 2 Rams players as Loving drops it at the feet of 2 players, and a timeout requested. Back in 60 seconds on the Cool Hits Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
When you have business away from home or a planned event far from your comfort zone, you're probably going to need a little help. Let A&A Porta Potties assist you with all your portable toilet needs. Whether on a construction site, planning for an outdoor wedding, or any other outdoor event, A&A Porta Potties are here to assist you. A&A Porta Potties also rents out storage containers, office containers, cooling fans, tables, and chairs. A&A Porta Potties, there is no event too big or too small for us to accommodate you.
8-3 as we welcome you back here to the Palace. Fairview in front. And Kiera Loving with the service. Here's Haddix up front. She'll touch it across on 2. Big swing there by her. Holbrook on the back line. Rigsby near sideline. And Raceland is all kind of out of system right now. They've got players that are in the same zip code that are not communicating and just cannot find the rhythm. Down 9-3 here in set 2. And this is an ace. Seven-point lead now for Fairview, leading the match 1-0. You see the game score up on the bottom of your screen, the match score in the top left. Here's Mackey. Haddix tries to save it at the net. Rigsby touches it across, and once the call on Razor, they're going to get Rigsby through the net, so a violation on her after the attack gives the point to Fairview and makes it an 8-point lead. Free ball sent over by Haddix. There's Loving at the net, leaves it off to Price. That's a lift, it sure was. Give the point to Raceland. 11-4 is our score. And Shayla Newman checking in for Rigsby will go back and do the service work, trying to serve her team back into this one, trailing in the match 1-0. Good service there by Newman. Here's Price with a big swing as nice dig out by Newman on the back row. Haddix lofts it across, but it's too deep. And Fairview takes the point, 12-4. Lily Bagloni, excuse me. Newman. Haddix taps it near side to Spurlock. There's Loving to Loving. Big swing off the cross-court attack by Shelby Markham as she pounds it down for the point, and it's a 9-point lead. Largest in the contest thus far. It's 13-4 here in set 2. Mackey's receive goes right back across the net. Now Price will attack it on the near side. Haddix digs it out, and there's nobody home for the Rams. 14-4. Bill Farley wants a timeout. We're back in 60 seconds on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Back here at the Palace, 14-4, Fairview leading Raceland. And back to the service line is Lily McGlone. Mackey near side, Haddix leaves it to Spurlock. Spurlock with a cross-court attack. It's dug out on the back row. Here's an attack from Shelby Markham, and it's too deep. And the Rams pick up a much-needed point. Down by 9. 14-5 here in set 2, trailing in the match. 1-0. Skylar Brown-Morris fires this one across. Loving will touch it across. A nice diving save there by Mackey. We play on. Newman out of the back row. Haddix near sideline. Spurlock. Spurlock with the attack. There's Loving with a save. Newman steps forward. Haddix at the net. Pushes across. Puts it down for the ninja kill. Cody Haddix with the point. 14-6. She saw the players out of position and an open hole on that near side and lobbed it right in there nicely. Skylar Brown-Morris coming at you on your screen. There's a joust at the net. Fairview takes care of it. Price with a big swing from the near side pin, and she fires it home for the kill. 15-6 sign out for the Eagles. Our patron on the near sideline tried to throw the ball back and didn't find its mark. It went underneath the official stand. All right, we're ready to go now. So Grayson Price with the service. And that's an ace right in front of Savannah Zewald. And the lead's back to 10 here in set 2. Fairview trying to take a pivotal 2 games and unlead in the match. This one's over the tape. Nice diving save there by Mackey. Spurlock blocked at the net as Markham sent it back with the block. And make it an 11-point lead. Everything coming up Fairview right now in this one. Newman off the back row. Zewald brings it up forward. Haddix lofts it across. Here's Loving. Markham blocked at the net, tipped. Mackey back up on a free ball by Holbrook. Here's Price down the pipe with a big swing. There's Newman. Haddix tips it across. Fairview scrambling. They save it. Mackey with a free ball again for the Rams. There's Price to Loving. Newman. Zewald taps it back in. It'll be a free ball by Mackey back across. Markham, Loving, back to Markham. Markham with the attack. It's blocked, and Raceland saves it back across. What a great save, and put it down for the point. What a scramble there, and a save that went back off the hands of Reagan Mackey. That diving save got the ball up in the air, and the Rams were able to push it across. And a point that looked like it had no chance of going down finds its way to the turf, or the court, I should say. And that may be the spark the Rams need. There's an attack of the net that's too deep. So point by point, down now by 9. The Rams need every point it can come up with. Here's a free ball. Zewald saves it on the back row. They'll come near side Reed. Cross-court attack. Touched over. Nice diving save by Haddix. She'll lob it back over on a high arcing ball. Markham blocked at the net. As a double block there by Reed and Holbrook. 17-9. Faith Spurlock. Over the tape for the ace. That was beautiful. Just catching the tape as it went across. There's McGlone. Loving touches it to the back row. Free ball sent over by Reed. Loving leaves it for Price down the pipe. Big swing and a point. They got her where she wanted out of that back row, and she can still swing it from there. 18-10, side out for the Eagles. Trying to close out set number 2 and take a commanding 2-0 lead here in the match. Zewald out of the back row. Mackey on a free ball. Loving at the net, touches it to the far sideline. Here's Haddix. Gets it back across. A ball tipped at the net. Scrambling are the Rams. They'll get it back in the air. They'll take it off now, and a big swing there by Fry. It's dug out on the back row by Mackey. Nice save there by Reed at the net. Loving goes back off to the far sideline. It's blocked at the net as Shaylee Holbrook gets the block and the point. 18-11. Leads down to 7. Rams trailed by 11 in this one, 17-6. There's Price. Markham. Fry on a free ball. Haddix receives. Rigsby sets it up. Reed somehow gets it across. Nice job there by the Rams scrambling. Here's Price with another big swing out of the back row. And she fires that one down with authority for the point. 19-11. Madison Loving. Haddix. Zewald tries to get it back across and can't do so. So give the point to Fairview. And it's 20-11 here in set number 2. There's Mackey. She can't play it up to Haddix. And the lead's back to 10 as Loving picks up the ace. That one is in, says the far side official, as it put it right in front of the position of Bill Farley on the Rams bench. So back-to-back aces. That's kind of the night it's been for Fairview and the night it's also been for Raceland. And that one's in as well. That one wasn't even close. Trip aces now for Madison Loving, and it's 23-11. And it's the largest lead any time here in the match thus far, and Fairview trying to push it to a 2-0 lead in the match. Mackey out of the back row. Haddix leaves it up to Rigsby. Rigsby with the attack and the kill. Here comes Hale and Brown Morris back on Zewald, and Haddix steps off. Loving lobs it across, and just like that, it's set point. And she just basically just put her left hand out and said, here, flop it across, and it finds the surface here at the Palace. Rigsby, free ball sent over by Hale. Here's Loving at the face of the net. Price with a big swing. Mackey digs it out. Brown Morris up to Rigsby. And Loving will finish things off, going to the back corner. And that quickly, it's 2-0 favoring the visiting Eagles. Back after this for set number 3 on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Back here at the Palace, 2-0 lead favoring the visiting Eagles as we move into set number 3, as they took set number 2 with ease, 25-12. They rolled off a 12-2 run that made it 14-4. That pushed it out to double digits for the first time in the match. It had not gotten any larger than 4 any time before that run started. And just as Raceland tried to make a run, they cut it down to 8 twice. And from that point forward, Fairview would close on a 7-2 run. And it was the Lovings was taking care of things. They had 3 consecutive aces. That was Madison Loving from making it 21, 22, and 23-11. And then Kiara Loving with a pair of kills to close things off. And the Lady Eagles are one set away from taking this one in straight sets, as the Rams are going to have to really battle to push this one into 5 sets for a win. They've got to find some momentum, more importantly, as they have been out of system much of the night. Happy to have you along with us here tonight at the Palace. James Carr here with you for the call. Our executive producer is Lane Lee. Our camera operators tonight, Philip Roark, and a duo on the other camera from my intro to media class of Sierra Zewald and Gracie Higginbotham. Doing a fabulous job. Their first ever time on cameras. So a heck of a way to start things off with a very rapid moving sport, but doing a pretty good job right out of the gate. So again, on your screen, Fairview on the left in the white and blacks, Raceland in the orange and blacks. Rams need 3 straight. More importantly, they got to win it here to start that climb, and they'll start on the defense as Fairview will send Cameron Fry to the service line and looking to close things out in straight sets here at the Palace. Set 3 underway. Brown Morris digs it off the near sideline, and the Rams cannot converge. So Fairview opens up a 1-0 lead. Here's Mackey. Loving scrambling. It's going to be a free ball from the back row. Hale leaves it for Rigsby. Rigsby's attack is blocked and then dug out. Hale leaves it again for Rigsby, and they'll get her on a lift this time. And it's 2-0 Fairview. Reed, Mackey on a free ball. And just out of bounds. Right in front of the official, Mr. Bill Renzi, our up official tonight. Only one of the four, though, that I do recognize. Bill's been around for quite some time, does a fabulous job. Here's Brown Morris near side, Hale. Rigsby on a free ball. Kiera Loving pushes it off to Grayson Price. Price with a big swing, and Brown Morris tries to save it on the far sideline, but couldn't come up with it. And it's 4-0. Haddix comes on, Hale steps off. And Fry, as she started her approach, just let the ball fall. She didn't want to take a swing at it, so we'll reserve. Good service there. Mackey with the reception. Here's Rigsby up front with a big swing and a point. That's the first time that she's really been able to rise up at the net and put it down with authority. They need her in a big way. So the first point of set number 3, and Cody Haddix back for the service. Loving up front, pushes it over to Price with a big swing. That one's out of bounds. We'll see if the Rams can take advantage of a few miscues by the Eagles. Claw their way back into this one. Down 2-0. Here's Brown Morris pushing it across. Loving with a nice little touch there. A diving save by both Haddix and Mackey, and they drop it in for the point. Take your pick on that one. But what a heck of an effort there by Cody Haddix and Reagan Mackey. Here's Price, punches it across. Haddix comes forward. Brown Morris has to run backward and can't get that one across. So side out for the Eagles. They lead at 5-3 as Kiera Loving back to the line. Rams on the road Monday night against East Carter. We'll have the call for that one from Grayson. Loving leads it off to Price. Price with a big swing and into the double block as it goes out of bounds for the point. 2 games still to go for Cool TV here at the Palace, as Raceland will have Greenup County and Lewis County in district games. And Raceland tries to scramble and get it across, but can't do so. So make it a 7-3 lead, just as Raceland had pulled it to within 1. It's back to 4. Mackey off the net. Haddix. Reed taps it across. Or excuse me, Rigsby taps it across. There's Holbrook on the back line. Haddix leaves it off to the far sideline. Reed with a dart. A nice save on the back line. Price lobs it across into the back row. Here's Haddix. She wants to go back to Reed. Reed with a cross-court attack. Puts it down on the back line for the point. Seven to 4 side out for the Lady Rams, trailing 3. And back to do the service is Gracie Reed. But she needs a ball. We've had some trouble with the ball tonight. It does not want to go where it wants to be. Or I should say where it needs to be. Reed coming at you right on your screen there. Nice serve, diving save on the back line. Here's Price on the far side. Brown Morris saving it. Haddix lobs it across, gets it up. Diving save to the back, but can't get it there, as Loving will pick up the point, finding the soft spot once again, and the lead is back to 4, 8-4. Kiera Loving is again at the net with as a setter and as an attack, has been just been able to pretty much put it anywhere she wants it. Here's Brown Morris up front, and she puts it down for a point. Skylar Brown Morris. So Elizabeth Rigsby back to the service line now. Big overhand service. Loving. Fry taps it across. There's Spurlock. Haddix goes back to Brown Morris. Morris taps it through. Back-to-back kills for her. Leads down to 2. Rams need to get on a run here. See if they can make a run at this one. There's a dart across the tape. And then an attack error by Shelby Markham. And it's 8-7. Back row Fry, Loving. Fry down the pipe. Rigsby back row, Haddix. Taps it near side Spurlock. A free ball lofted over by her. Price leaves it off to Kiera Loving with a big dart to the back row. Haddix will push it across. Loving with a set. Fry with a big swing. There's Haddix. Rigsby rushing toward Reagan Mackey with a free ball. A touch at the net. Haddix leaves it up in the air. Brown Morris pounds it across. Almost had it down with a diving save on the back row. Near sideline, and it goes right at the feet of Elizabeth Rigsby. She decided she was going to let it go. She thought it was out of bounds. Instead, it falls just inside the white line in front of her bench. And a point for the Eagles. Shayla Newman back in for Rigsby. And back for the service is Grayson Price. That's Newman with the reception. Brown Morris. Free ball sent over by Holbrook. There's Loving. Leaves it off to Price. Price down the pipe through the double block. A great diving save there by Spurlock, and the Rams keep it alive for the moment. Madison Loving with the attack, but a lift at the net. And it's back to 1. Brown Morris comes off, and Savannah Zewald comes on for the service. Good service by her. Call it an ace. We're tied at 9. Just when it looked like Fairview was going to cruise through set 3 for a straight set match win. They led this one 8-3. And now Raceland takes the lead 10-9, their first lead here in set 3. It's a 6-1 run after back-to-back aces. Loving back up front, comes near sideline with a big swing at the net. Cody Haddix lobs it across, so Raceland can get back in system. An attack of the back row. Haddix comes near sideline to Spurlock, and Spurlock fires a dart through. Here's Price out of the pipe. A diving save. Mackey lobs it across. She got too much on that one, though. She was falling backward, trying to just lob it in. A heck of an effort by her, but we're even at 10. Shelby Markham. There's a free ball lofted over by Zewald. Big swing on the far sideline by Fry is out of bounds. And it's 11-10. Now Reagan Mackey. Price for the back row. She'll come down the pipe. Big swing. That one's too deep. 2-point lead for the Rams. If they can play this one to a win and then keep the momentum rolling, we could get some interesting play here, as either way, you had two options here. You could call it a lift or a block. I believe they're going to give the block either way on Reed. So 13-10. Price. Free ball. There's Newman. Holbrook punches it across. Loving takes it off to Fry. Fry on the cross-court attack. There's Newman on the back row. And then Loving just jumps up and lofts it back in for the point. She sees the ball so well at the net. And she finds a soft spot in the defense and just places it very nicely. So Madison Loving now with a service. Mackey with a big swing. And that one's way too deep. 13-12. Match score up there in the top of your left screen. Fairview taking sets 1 and 2. Newman with the reception on the near sideline. That one's going to go down as an ace. And we're tied at 13. There's Reed. Loving pops it across. Haddix puts it back to the front. Holbrook punches it across. Nice dig. Free ball by Holbrook. Markham, Loving. Fry with a cross-court attack, but that one's wide. And the Rams regain the lead now 14-13. Check that. They're going to call the point to Fairview. So make it 14-13. There's Zewald. Newman on a free ball. Loving at the net. A touch over. And Raceland trying to get two players to the ball to dive for it. Can't come up with the point. And it's back to a 2-point lead for the visiting Eagles. Madison Loving. Zewald back up, and Loving fires a dart. That was the biggest swing we've seen tonight. Timeout, Raceland, 16-13 here in set 3. We're back in 60 seconds on the Coolidge Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub & Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub & Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
When you have business away from home or a planned event far from your comfort zone, you're probably going to need a little help. Let A&A Porta Potties assist you with all your portable toilet needs. Whether on a construction site, planning for an outdoor wedding, or any other outdoor event, A&A Porta Potties are here to assist you. A&A Porta Potties also rents out storage containers, office containers, cooling fans, tables, and chairs. A&A Porta Potties, there is no event too big or too small for us to accommodate you.
16-13 out of the timeout. Serving are the Eagles. Holbrook through the block attempt of Loving at the net. There's Mackey on the back row. Haddix pushes across. Madison Loving up to Kiera Loving. Here's Price down the pipe, and that one's too stiff. 16-14. Shaylee Holbrook to do the service. Nice job there by Loving to tap it across. Here's Rigsby who comes up, and an attack of the net won't go over. So 17-14 now. Eagles leading this one. Trying to close it out in straight sets. Trying to win their 7th consecutive. Raceland on a 3-game streak. And Elizabeth Rigsby rises up and pounds that one down. Side out Rams, down by 2. And Cody Haddix back for the service. Haddix lining up her approach. Loving up front, takes it off to Price on the far side pin, blocked at the net, but it's dug out and shoved across. And they're going to get Price through the net. And the point goes to Raceland. There's Madison Loving up to Kiera Loving. She'll shove it to the back row. Mackey. Haddix leaves it for Rigsby. Rigsby tries to tip it across, and she can't control it. So 18-16 is the score. Fairview siding out. Kiera Loving back to the service line, trying to close this one out for a straight set winner for the Eagles. It's going to be a free ball sent over by Mackey. She'll touch it to the back row. Loving back up front to the far side. Price. Price with a big swing through the double block. Brown Morris. Fairview scrambling. There's Fry. Haddix on the back row now. Mackey. Brown Morris taps it across. We'll go back to Price. Price with a big swing on the attack. Mackey digs it off the back row. Haddix leaves it for Brown Morris at the net. She'll touch it on the left hand. Markham. Free ball sent over. There's Mackey. Ball at the net. Price leaves it up for Loving, and Loving just finds the hole again. Diving attempt there by Reagan Mackey. She can't pull it in. It's 19-16. Kiera Loving at times tonight has looked like a cheat code. She has found the holes about any place that she's needed to get them. That time a service error. So the Lady Rams hanging around, but had two chances to close out set one and could not do so, and now they find themselves on the ropes here. Loving goes to Price. Price with a big swing, blocked at the net. She digs it out, and they'll get Fairview in the net. So the lead's down to one. And Gracie Reed to the service line. Madison Loving hustling for it there. Loving will send it over on a free ball, and that one's out of bounds. We're tied at 19. Shelby Markham tried to control it. The Eagles couldn't find the correct direction they needed to go with it. Nice serve. Loving saves. Price on a free ball. Holbrook back row. Here's Haddix. Picks off to Brown Morris. Morris with the attack and a kill. Skylar Brown Morris. Another kill for her tonight. Timeout Fairview. 20-19. Raceland leading this one in set three. Back after this on the Coed Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Back out of the timeout. Rams leading at 20-19. Here's Rigsby with a big swing. Nice job there by Fry out of the back row. Markham. Now Haddix. Brown Morris. She's had the hot touch. That one's just a little bit deep, and we're tied at 20. Back on the service line now for the Eagles is Lily McGlone. Haddix leaves it off to Rigsby. Rigsby with a big swing into the net. Fairview 4 points away from closing out this match in straight sets. 21-20. Lady Eagles lead this one. Loving brings it near side Price with a cross-court attack. There's Haddix. Spurlock taps it in. Haddix with a free ball. Back low Loving. And coming forward with the big swing was Shelby Markham. But she came up empty and landed awkwardly as well. We're tied at 21. Like she got up and maybe jumped a little bit too soon is what it appeared. Rigsby, nice service on the near side, call it an ace. And make it 22-21. Rams in front by 1. 3 points to close out a pivotal set 3 and get back into this match. Trailing 2 games to none. Nice service there. Loving trying to scramble. She lobs it across, somehow goes across the tape and drops in. Price leaves it for her, and she'll pound this one into the face of the net. And it's a 2-point Rams lead. Timeout, Fairview. Back in 60 seconds on the Cool Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Rams pick up a point there out of the timeout, and they lead at 24-21, and it's set point. Here at set number 3. Second time they've had a set point in the match. Missing a golden opportunity back in set number 1. So the service error makes it 24-22. Grayson Price back for the service for the Eagles. Raceland down 2 games to none. Mackey. Haddix leaves it to Spurlock. Spurlock with the attack. Dug out back row Fry. Fry with a shot down the pipe. Newman back row off the net. Haddix tries to play it. And here come the Eagles once again. 24-23. There's Newman, and we're tied at 24. So now we have to go to 26 at least. This is the same thing we saw in set 1. Off the tape, Brown Morris, Haddix taps across. Ball up at the net, jousted up, Holbrook. Markham lobs it back over. Haddix with a push to the back row. A big push over by Price, and they say it's down. Wow. And that makes it match point for Fairview. A swing and a prayer. And Bill Farley will turn it and say, I want a timeout. We're going to stay right here. Dare I say the price is right. But that right there was Grayson Price just putting an arm out and swinging and finding exactly where she wanted to drop that ball in on the line, on the far sideline. And looking at both teams there in their respective huddles, This is the second time in this contest that we've been in this situation. Raceland led 24-22 in set 1, lost at 26-24. Same thing here in set 3, and they face match point for the Eagles, who are serving out of this timeout. So Grayson Price trying to close it out in straight sets. Puts it in the air. Brown Morris. It's going to have to be a free ball sent over, and Raceland gets it over by Cody Haddix. Here's Loving. Swings it to the back row, and it's too deep. So we're going to play to at least 27 here in set 3. Must win by 2. So Skylar Brown Morris, she's had a good game here tonight for the Rams. Good service on the back row. Loving. Here's Fry. There's Brown Morris. Haddix gets it across. Here's Price down the pipe and puts that one down for the point. So match point once again. Zewald comes on for Brown Morris. And back to finish things out on the service line, hopefully for the Eagles, is Shelby Markham. Markham comes near sideline. There's Newman. Loving tries to slam it back home, but she gets stuffed by the tape. And we're tied at 26. So we'll play to 28 now. Reagan Mackey wearing that white libero jersey tonight. We'll go back and do the service. Good service, call it an ace. So now set point for the Rams for the second time here in the frame. Mackey's service, a lofting service this time. Loving pushes it off to Fry. Fry comes near side and lobs it across as no one was home. Cameron Fry with the point. Madison Loving back to the service line. We're tied at 27. Shaylin Newman. Mackey near sideline. Reed with a tap across. Here's Loving back up front. Down the pipe, Grayson Price with a big swing into the net. And it's set point again for the Rams. And Shaylee Holbrook back for the service. Newman off. Rigsby back in. Here's Loving up front. She'll push it to the back row. Haddix taps it across. Right back goes Loving. Here's Haddix to Rigsby. Rigsby with a big swing through the block and the point. And the Rams take set 3, 29-27. Set 4 when we return after this on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub & Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub & Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Two games to one is our score as Raceland gets on the board and does it in exciting fashion. We go to 29 points in the frame there in set number 3. And they push it back and forth. They had it at 24-22. Fairview gets 3 consecutive points. We volley back and forth. And then the Rams finish things out with an Elizabeth Rigsby kill at the net. And the Rams take set number 3, 2-1. Raceland, though, on the backside of this, seriously could easily be in control of this match right now, 2-1. They had a 24-22 lead in set 1 and just could not find a way to punch it in. Fairview cruises through set number 2 as they had very little trouble in that one, winning 25-12. And then every time it looked like Raceland was out of sorts, they'd make a little run, get a little help here and there, and a big swing by Elizabeth Rigsby made it a set winner for the Rams and puts us into set number 4. Now, if we get a set 4 winner by the Rams, then we go to set 5, and it gets price of poker goes up. Only playing to 15 in set 5. So we'll see how things play out. But again, Fairview in the white jerseys with the black bottoms, Raceland in the orange and black tops and black bottoms. Fairview on the left, Raceland on the right of your screen. Happy to have you along with us here tonight on Cool TV. Our crew tonight on cameras is Gracie Higginbotham and Sierra Zewald and Philip Roark. Executive producer for tonight's game is Lane Lee. Raceland will serve it first to start things off in set 4. Here we go. Here's Loving. Gives it off to Price. A big swing to the far sideline. That was on the line. I could see it from here. Her kill total has to be double digits. But a thread-the-needle type point, if you will, as she puts it down for the point and a 1-0 lead here in set 4. So Cameron Fry puts a dart right in front of the feet of Reagan Mackey. Give it an ace. 2-0. Mackey puts this one straight back across. Loving takes it back off to Price on the cross-court attack and puts it home for the point. 3-0 Fairview. Good look there at Fry as she comes right at you on the screen. There's Mackey. Near sideline across the tape. It stays in. And then a prayer by Fry off the back row. And somehow it gets over and goes down for a point. It's been that kind of night for this Eagles team. They lead this one 4-0. Mackey touches it back up off the net and give that one as an ace. And a couple of subs for Raceland as, just one sub. Hale will come off and Haddock's back on. 5-0. Make it another ace. 6-0. Fry with the last 3 consecutive. She's got 4 of the 6 here to start the 4th set. Here's Haddox, touches it across. Back row Loving to Kiara Loving up front. And a big swing and a point by Grayson Price, and it's 7-0. This has been nothing but the Fry and Price show. 7-0 to open up here in the 4th set. As Cameron Fry from the service line has 3 aces and a kill, in which a ball that she just poked across off the back row and it falls into a soft spot in the zone. And then Grayson Price with 3 kills of her own. She opened up the match, had the 3rd point, and in the 7th. And Fairview trying to make quick work of the Rams here in the 4th and what could be the deciding set if Raceland can't find an answer. See the Win totals up in the left-hand column of your screen. Fairview taking sets 1 and 2. Raceland storming back to take set 3. And it's 7-0 here in set 4 and out of the timeout. Cameron Fry back on the line. Ball near sideline. Kiera Loving lifts it back in. I think that ball would have been out. We play on. Free ball near sideline. Holbrook Haddix touches it across. They're going to get in on a 2-ball. 8-0 Fairview. Holbrook, Haddix leaves it off to Reed. Reed with the attack. It's darted back across. They'll go back to Reed on the far side. She'll flip it across. Price saves it up to Kiera Loving. Holbrook back row, Haddix goes back to Holbrook on a free ball. Here's Loving up front, leaves it off to Grayson Price. Price with a big attack through the double block. Raceland gets a attack by Morris on the near side pin. Back to Price. Price winds up, blocked the net. She digs it out herself. Free ball sent over by Kiera Loving to the back row, Holbrook. Now Haddix leaves it for Rigsby. Rigsby taps it across. Right there is Markham. Tip at the net. Price punches it across. And I don't know what happened. It almost looked like Fairview thought that the ball was dead. Instead, Skylar Brown-Morris pokes it across and picks up the point and gets the Rams on the board. It's 8-1 now. It was an odd sequence there. Number 4 Fairview players converging on the area of the ball, and they all just kind of watched it down. So Gracie Reed for the service. A dart to the back row. Holbrook saving. Haddix flips it up on a diving save. Rigsby taps it across. Nice job there. Lily McGlone near sideline, but there's Kiera Loving, who just soft touch on the near side for the point. 9-1. It's when you've got a player up front like that that can see the floor so well. It makes her so dangerous. There's Spurlock. Free ball over by Brown-Morris. Loving takes it off to the far side pin, and it was a bad set as never getting a chance to get to the ball was Price. And now Haddix has to jump off and go over and see the athletic trainer. Looks like she has some blood on her knee maybe after that last diving attempt she had on the back row. While we have a break in the action, a big thanks to our sponsors, Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State, River Cities Builders, and NA Porta Potties. Shayla Newman will come in for Elizabeth Rigsby as the athletic trainer trying to doctor up the knee on the far sideline. Here comes the orange tape out. It's right above where the knee pad is. She'll fold the knee pad up over top of it. Looks like we're good to go. So Haddix bandaged up and back on the court she comes. Rams with the ball, but trailing 9-2. Here in set number 4, down 2 games to 1. Lofting serve to the far sideline. Loving will push it across to the back row. There's a great running save by Haddix. Here's Price on the far side. Taps it across, and the point. She can take the big swing, but as can Loving. But it's that soft touch that they've used so many times in this one that's gotten them the points. Here's Haddix. Leaves it to Holbrook. Holbrook lofts it across, and she returns the favor. 7-point deficit. Brown-Morris will come off, and Savannah Zewald back in. And Zewald will go to the service line. Markham to McGlone. McGlone can't control it. 10-4. There's Loving. She'll punch it back across to the back row. Newman scrambling forward. It's going to be a free ball by Mackey. Near sideline, that one's out of bounds. Right in front of our position. As that was McGlone jumping out of the way to make it 11-4. Mackey scrambling. Newman with a free ball. There's Loving to Kiara Loving. Haddix. Mackey with the attack with a dart. It's dug out back row by McGlone. Here's Price. Winds up and wide. Faith Spurlock back for the service. Down by 6. That ball was kicked by Lily McGlone. Believe it or not, that ball is still live. She kind of like, oh, did I do something wrong? That ball was still live. But it's an ace for Spurlock. And the lead's down to 5. You don't see the kick ball too often, but I have seen it go over for points before. There's Fry. Free ball lofted over by Markham. Haddix leaves it for Holbrook with a big dart to the near side corner. When the Rams get in system, things go down, and that right there was a perfect placement. The ball up to Haddix. She got it to Holbrook, and a big swing at the net for the point that's down to a 4-point lead. Back row. Free ball over by Loving. There's Zewald. Haddix touches it near side to Reed. Reed with a cross-court attack. Price on the back row. Free ball up to Newman. Haddix leaves it up to Holbrook. Holbrook taps it across for the point. Right on the far sideline. Back-to-back kills for her. And the lead's down to 3. Kiera Loving. It's going to be a free ball over by Markham. There's Zewald back row. Haddix now. Holbrook takes it across. McGlone back row. Now Spurlock. Here's Holbrook up front with a big dart as she takes the player off of her feet. As trying to receive that one was Cameron Fry, and Fairview wants a timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. That was another big swing that we saw, and the lead's down to 2 as Raceland is on a 5-0 run and 3 consecutive kills by Shaylee Holbrook. Coming up Monday night, we'll be in Grayson, East Carter High School, 7 o'clock. Rams and the Raiders right here on Cool TV. And then 2 home games still remaining for Raceland, as they'll have Greenup County on the 6th. And then the 10th of October will be senior night. Both of those games at 7 p.m. and can be seen right here on Cool TV. So a 2-point lead for Fairview, but Raceland on a 5-0 run, trailing the match 2-1, trying to force it into a pivotal 5th and deciding set. There's a free ball by Loving. Haddix back up to Holbrook. Holbrook has Fairview scrambling. Zewald on the back row. Haddix back to Holbrook. Holbrook with the attack and a point. 4 consecutive for Holbrook, and it's down to 1. Shaylee Holbrook at the face of the net, and she has heated up here in the 4th set. 6-0 run by the Rams. Lofting serve back row. McGlone, Loving. There's Fry with a big attack. Zewald back row. And Cody Haddix touches it across, and we're tied at 11. It's a 7-0 run. Can the Rams push this one to the 5th and the final set? Here's a free ball by Grayson Price. There's Newman. Haddock scrambling. Spurlock back row. And then got that one off the side of her hand. Side out Fairview, and they lead it by 1, 12-11. And back to the line is Shelby Markham. There's Mackey in that white jersey as the libero for the Rams. Loving up front, goes off to Fry on a cross-court attack. A diving save. Reed will jump back to her feet and pound it across. Here's Price down the pipe with a big swing. Back row Newman. Haddock pushes to the back corner. No. They'll get her on a 2. She had the perfect position, but they got her on a 2 ball and a 2-point lead. And now Fairview picks up an ace from Shelby Markham. And the lead's back to 3, 14-11 here in set 4. Zewald, near side, out of bounds. Back-to-back aces. 15-11. So after a 7-0 run by the Rams, it's a 4-0 run by the Eagles. Here's Mackey. Haddocks leaves it up to Holbrook. Holbrook far side. Loving taps it over with the left hand. And Raceland can't control it. And that quickly, it's a 5-0 run by Fairview to answer the 7-0 run by the Rams, and it's now a 5-point lead. It's 16-11. Haddocks up front, comes near side to Reed. Reed pounds that one through the double block attempt and puts it home for the point. Service near side. Loving lofts it across. Rigsby back in the ball game. Here's Reed with a big hit as she goes through the attack, or the block attempt, excuse me, of Loving. Back-to-back kills for Gracie Reed. Block at the net, Elizabeth Rigsby. Leads down to 2. Rick Lambert trying to get his girls to finish this thing out. Here's Fry on the far side, and she nearly swings and misses. So the attack error has the lead down to 1. We could see 5 here tonight. Good service there off the back row. A ball clings all the way back across. Here's Rigsby up front through the block attempt, and we're tied at 16. So it's a 5-0 run by the Rams. Trailing 2-1 in the set. Madison Loving. Free ball by Fry. Here's Haddocks. Brings it near side to Reed. Reed cross court with the attack, and Raceland's back in front, 17-16. It's a 6-0 run. And Shaylee Holbrook doing the work from the service line. There's Price on the back row. Loving brings it back to Price down the pipe with a big swing. Zewald plays it off of her chest, and she can't control it. Give Price the kill, and we're even at 17. And a side out for the Eagles with Madison Loving back to the line. Now it's a race to 8. The Rams can find the momentum that they need to close this one out and force the 5th and final set. This would be one miraculous comeback if they could pull it off. Here's Mackey on a shot to the back row. Loving can't control it. Give Mackey the kill. And the Rams are back in front by 118-17. And Cody Haddocks to the service line. Here comes Skylar Brown Morris back on. She'll replace Savannah Zewald. Haddix, high arcing service to the back row. Loving tries to push it off to Price. Price rolls it to the far side. Here's Reed with a cross-court attack. It comes all the way back across. Here's Brown Morris, and she can't get that one across. We're even at 18. So Cameron Fry will go back to the line for Fairview. There's Mackey. Here's Haddix. Pushes it off to Reed. Reed with a tap to the other side, and she can't get it across. Back-to-back attack errors by the Rams. Puts Fairview back in front now, 19-18 here in set 4. Great hustle play there by Haddix. Reed gets it across, but it's outside the antenna. Bill Farley saying there is no way. Bill Farley just said there is no absolute way that ball was outside the antenna. So the point goes to Fairview, and it's 20-18. And then a service error. And I guarantee he just said ball doesn't lie. Knowing Coach Farley as many years as I know him, I know exactly how he followed that one up. So now Gracie Reed will go to the service line. Spurlock back on. And I believe we just had a yellow card for an illegal substitution. Bill Renzi pulled a yellow card out of his pocket. Either way, we play on. Here's Spurlock near side. Cross-court attack. Was that a tipped ball? They'll say no, so it's out of bounds. So the attack error makes it 21-19. And Fairview 4 points from closing out this match. Raceland trying to find some mojo down the stretch and push this one into a deciding 5th and final set. Haddix goes out to Rigsby. Rigsby with a dart. It's delivered all the way back across. Haddix with a free ball. Loving leaves it off to Price. Price winds up and delivers on the far sideline. That one's out of bounds. Fortunately for the Rams, they did not touch it, as it just knifed its way through the diving attempt on the back line. So now Shayla Newman will come on to serve for the Rams, down by 1. 21-20 here in set 4. High service to the back row Loving, front row Loving. Now Price with a big swing, dug out by Newman, back row. Here's Mackey with a big swing into the net. Here's McGlone. That's into the net. So side out for the Rams. Back in is Savannah Zewald. She'll replace Brown Morris. The race to 25. Loving leaves it to Price with a cross-court attack. There's a dig out by Newman. Near side, Spurlock. Spurlock fires it across, back row dig. Here's Price off the near side again. There's Zewald. Haddix up at the front. Nice little touch over near side, and we're tied at 22. Beautiful leave there by Shaylee Holbrook, as she had the double block in her face and she just touched it to the other side. Loving up front. Here's Price. Near side, out of bounds. And the Rams lead it. Now 23-22. After the attack error there by Grayson Price. Now Savannah Zewald trying to serve this thing out. Back row Fry. Free ball over by Price. There's Mackey. Haddix. Free ball by the Rams. Markham. Newman. Haddix leaves it near side to Spurlock. Spurlock across the tape, drops it in for the point. And it's set point here in set 4. And before we get out, Rick Lambert says timeout. We'll stay right here. We're not going to be late coming back in on this one. Man, what a ball game we've had here tonight. Raceland on life support was down 16-11. But this is not the number that they like to see. 24-22. They've been in this position 3 times now to 4 sets. They lost the first set. They got set 3. Now they're trying to force a 5th and final set if they can get this one. What a game. I'm about out of paper, too. I'm going to have to do some scribbling one way or the other. So set point for the Rams to force it to 5. And Savannah Zewald back to do the service. Loving up front. Newman back row. Haddix brings it up to Holbrook with a little touch. Price with a bump to the far sideline. They'll bring it back over. Here's Haddix up front. That's to Holbrook with a big slam down and Loving on the back row. Free ball by Fairview. Back row Newman. Here's Haddix. Near sideline Spurlock. Blocked. Dug out up front. Haddix lobs it across. Free ball by Price. Haddix near sideline Spurlock with a touch. Neither team's had a big swing yet. Off the tip ball by Loving. And every time we've gotten it 24-22, Kiara Loving's come up with a big point, and that puts Grayson Price at the net. It's still, or on the service line, excuse me, still set point. Let's play 5. A service error by Price, 25-23. We're tied at 2, and a 5th and final set when we return after this on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Well, 4 is not enough. We need 5 between these two. Raceland trying to pick up win number 20 on the season. They were on life support. Down 2 games to none. They've run everything back, and they've got this tied at 2. As you see the differences in the timeouts there. Rick Lambert, the head coach for Fairview, is on the bench. Bill Farley in his timeout up there trying to get his team fired up. And they are ready to go. Would love a big win here tonight. So again, only playing to 15 here in the 5th and final set. Again, the Rams in the orange and black, Fairview in the white. Fairview on the left-hand side of your screen, Raceland on the right, and Fairview should start with the service as they have the service to start the ball game. Lane Lee, our executive producer tonight, our camera operators, Philip Roark, Sierra Zewald, and Gracie Higginbotham. All three of those on camera tonight, members of my media crew here at Raceland Worthington High School, and doing a wonderful job. I can't say enough about what these kiddos have been able to do. Put some technology in their hands and just stay out of the way. That's the big thing. And they figure things out fairly quickly. And the things to come is still we've not even scratched the surface. Again, if you're watching along with us here on Cool TV, if you've not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, get that little ding. Every time we update something, it'll be out there. We're at 493 subscribers. And we certainly appreciate every single one of those who have jumped on board here and supported Cool TV. Our sponsors, Clark's Pump and Shops, River Cities Builders, A&A Porta Potties. Can't do everything without all of their great support that they've given us here this season. So Fairview will start the service. Cameron Fry will lead things off. And here we go, fifth and final set. And that one's deep. And the Rams open up with a 1-0 lead on the service error. So again, the price of poker is a little more pricey in this round. Sophie Hale, high arcing serve. Loving off to Price. Price with a big swing and a point. That one sends the near side official scrambling out of the way once again. Even at 1. And back to the line is Kiera Loving. Loving's serve probably was going out. Mackey trying to reach back and punch it back up in the air and couldn't control it. So Hale comes off, back in as Haddix. So Loving now with a 2-1 lead. There's Mackey. Haddix goes off to Reed. Reed with a big swing, and that one's going down for the point. We're even at 2. Gracie Reed with a big point there, and she'll earn the service. Ball is behind her, though. She's trying to find the ball. They're telling her to look around. It's right behind you. Good service there, back up at the net. And that one goes in for the ace. 3-2 Rams lead it. Trying to pick up win number 20 on the season, and what a way that it would be if they could do it here now. Here's Price winding up off the far side. Pin through the double block for the point. We're tied at 3. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I will not be surprised if we have to play past 15 points. Not the way this match is played. I mean, it has just been a back and forth affair. Here's Lily McGlone off the tape. Mackey takes it. Haddix touches it across. There's Loving. Now back over to Price with a big swing. Holbrook on the back line. Haddix comes near side to Spurlock. Spurlock with the attack, back row. Here's Price, another big swing. That's Mackey. He'll touch it back across as launching that one back down was Shelby Markham. And Fairview regains the lead. Now 4-3 here in the 5th set. Can't afford big runs in this one. You got to keep everything close. Markham's service. That one falls in. I thought that ball was destined to go out. And instead, McGlone has the ball that just inches to the line on the near side. And the official points down with that flag, and it's a 5-3 lead for Fairview. Good serve. Haddix lobs it up in the air. Mackey lobs it across. Here's Loving. Goes off to Price. Price with a big swing. Back row. Brown Morris touches it over. Loving back up front. Price with another big swing. Blocked at the net, but it's out of bounds. And it's 6-3. And this is where the Rams have to find an answer on this point right here. Here's Haddix back up front. Rigsby. And there's an answer. No, a nice dig. Holbrook on the back row. Haddix comes near sideline to Spurlock. Spurlock with the attack. Price. Mackey back row. Haddix pushes it to the back corner. That's McGlone. Back to Price. Price with a touch. Mackey. Back and forth for position, trying to find a big swing. Haddock's back row to Brown Morris. Neither team being able to get their setter the ball. There's a punch to the back row. Haddock's will lob it back up front. Spurlock tips it across. Price on the far side. Big swing for the point. That one's all the way up in the mezzanine. Seven to 3. Fairview leads it here in the fifth and final set. Back in 60 seconds on the Cool Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Brown Morris up front and can't connect. 8-3. Fairview now 7 points away from closing this one out. McGlone doing some work from the service line. Rigsby has a big block on the far sideline, attempted there by Price, but the point goes down for Rigsby as it goes out of bounds. And she'll take the ball with the point, go to the service line, down 4. Overhand service by her into the face of the net. Can't afford those mistakes in this last set. So now Grayson Price needs 6 points for a win. Rams need a run. And make it 5 for a win. The Rams couldn't control it on the back row. And that's a service error. And again, those points are magnified in a game like this when you're only playing to 15. You got a chance to put a team away. You got to do so. And here's the young lady that got Raceland back into this one, Savannah Zewald, as she did the service there in set 4. She's got Fairview scrambling after the service. Here's Haddock's up front. Holbrook with a big swing, a nice dig on the back row by Fry. Here's Price with a punch across. Haddock brings it back up to Holbrook. Holbrook with a touch. Madison Loving gets it. Kiera Loving touches it across. Back to Spurlock. Spurlock with a touch. Free ball sent over by Fairview. That one is out. That ball was in. It looked in from high atop here. But the official scrambling out of the way on the near sideline says it's out. Rams point. And they're down by 4. Zewald. Haddock's up front. Holbrook with a big swing. Nice dig by McGlone out of the back row. Zewald again. Haddock's with a bump. It's a free ball by Mackey. Diving save by Price. Raceland will have to send it over on a free ball by Mackey. Touches it to the near side corner. Loving leaves it. A big attack, and that one's up almost to the camera. That big swing came from Shelby Markham. Off the arm of Mackey and nearly got the camera up on top of the track area. So it's an 11-6 lead for the Eagles here in set 5. And that's an ace. Timeout, Bill Farley. We're going to stay right here. 12-6. So now the situation is Fairview needs 3 points to close this one out. And what a game that we've seen here. Can the Rams find one more answer late? They trail at 12-6 here in the 5th and final set. Fairview with the ball out of the timeout. So back to the line is Shelby Markham. Mackey with the receive, near side to Spurlock. Back row Price, Loving up front, goes off to Fry. Fry blocked at the net, tries to save it, but a big block there by Holbrook. So that cuts it to 5, and Reagan Mackey Price with a big swing at the net, blocked, tipped back up at the net. Mackey leaves it for Reed, and they're going to get Raceland on a violation at the net. I'm uncertain of what the call was, but either way, Fairview's 2 points away from a win. 13-7 now as Madison Loving to the line. Big swing by her. It's a free ball by the Rams. Here's Price down the pipe and puts that one down for the point, and it's match point. 14-7. Madison Loving with the service. Zewald out deep. Haddix tips it across. A lofting ball up, and that's it. Rams can't control it, and Fairview closes it out here in set number 5, 15-7, and they take the match by final score of 3-2. Big thanks to our crew tonight, Philip Roark on camera, as well as Sierra Zewald and Gracie Higginbotham, and our executive producer for tonight's game was Lane Lee. Fairview wins it tonight as they knock off Raceland 3-2. With the win, Fairview moves to 18-5. They've won 7 straight. Raceland falls to 19-9, snapping a 3-game winning streak. That'll do it for us here tonight at the Palace. Again, for Lane Lee, Sierra Zewald, Gracie Higginbotham, and Philip Roark, I'm James Carr. Thanks for tuning in on the Cool Hits Sports Network, and have a great evening, everyone. Good night.